You know it's super fly when Day Bar is opened. Hip-hop review, news, plus breaking new artists, pop culture, current events with an urban view of it. This is all things hip-hop, delivered raw, unpolitically correct, the fans' perspective, putting all artists in check. Dope content, current hot by remarkable men. Our thoughts, clearly. Welcome to Audio Theory.
Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe as well as the like button. What's good, man? How you been? How was your weekend?
Weekend was phenomenal, bro. But let's get into was your trip to San Diego a surprise, or was that like a planned thing, or?
No, we planned that.
Dope.
We don't really do too much planning for Valentine's Day, or at least I should say I don't do too much planning for Valentine's Day, because our anniversary's literally a month before. Technically it's on Valentine's Day, but we thought that was corny and like not special, so we did it based on like the month/week we actually like started hanging out and stuff.
So you celebrate mid-January?
Yeah, mid-January and stuff. So, and then we just get frustrated with Valentine's Day because everything was packed. So the day of, we tried to get fucking brunch and no place was taking walk-ins. They were all reservations, and we ended up at some like Mexican joint, which was actually pretty bomb. But we reminded ourselves why we hate the days, just because it's everybody's trying to fucking do something.
How was the vibe in San Diego? What did you get into? Or what can you do? Like, how open is California now?
Oh, it was open like it was Vegas or some shit. Like,
really?
People weren't really wearing masks. Like, it was kind of an optional thing. The streets were flooded. It felt like Vegas and like New Orleans, like peak pre-COVID. It was just wild.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising, dude. That's surprising. Which in a good way though. Again, it's weird. Like, I don't think the numbers are getting better, but I think everyone, and like including the government's like, yo, we can't keep them inside. Like, we just can't. Like, just let them figure it out, bro. Which honestly is like fucking why so many people are moving to Texas and Florida. Is like, yo, like, Florida does not have it figured out, but it's just like, bro, like, just live your life, and like, if you get it, you get it, you know, be smart about it, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of like how we were approaching it. Saw a couple fights on the street, which was pretty hilarious to watch.
Because not wearing a mask?
No, because people were drunk and retarded.
Okay.
Yeah, just stupid shit. And we were pretty sober too. Which is rare for us when we go on these vacations, and it was just funny to see people act stupid and fight over bullshit.
Nice. All right. Well, I mean, you were there for what, the full weekend?
Yeah, we were there Saturday through Monday.
Nice, dude. So, but is she still there though, or is she like back in LA?
My girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back in LA.
Okay, cool.
Well,
I know she was like already there. You just went to visit her or something like that.
No. Oh, but what was super dope is I was in a group chat with my friends, and I just like casually mentioned how open San Diego was, and it just so happened one of my friends was there as well. So we met up, fucking drank some wine, and I met his new girl. It was super dope. I feel like with all of my good friends, I always end up
always fuck up.
Vacation.
But it
happened with you.
Yeah. It's like a fuck up, but like the greatest fuck up. It's like the best surprise ever. It's like, yo, thank God.
Yeah. So that was super dope.
Nice, that's awesome, man. My weekend was chilled, bro. It was I guess like a Valentine / link up full weekend, bro. Like I did a Valentine's thing Friday night. That was dope. I had one of my best friends from India actually, who moved to New York. He's been here for like the past like 7 years. Is thinking about moving to Florida because he's like Andrew Schultz, like, I'm over Florida, I'm over New York, fuck that shit, like, I'm moving to Florida, dude. Like, he's like house shopping, like the full nine, bro. So like, I'm so jealously, selfishly happy because I'm like, bro, thank God, like, it's just gonna be like a dope setup.
Nice.
Dude, we got a boat on Saturday. We were kind of talking about that offline right before we hopped on. Dude, 6 hours on the boat. Dude, like, I knew going into it, I'm like, at some point, someone's gonna get fucking destroyed. I just didn't want it to be me, but it was. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, yo, like, it started off slow. We got on the boat, like, around 12. You can tell everybody was out the night before for, like, Friday night Valentine's, drinking, blah, blah, blah. So, dude, like, easing into it, music was, like, very loungy, blah, blah, blah. bro, like around 2 o'clock, the shots start flowing. And then, bro, by like 4 o'clock, the pictures get a little bit more like eyes are more closed. Everyone's a little bit loose. Bro, by 5:10 or 5:20, like an hour before we go back to port, bro, I just pass out. Bro, just hand here and just napping. Bro, like, I don't know how strong my forearm is. Like this, I don't want to get into why it's so strong. But like, yo, like my head would not move, bro. Like everyone was like nervous. Like, oh my God, he's going to fall. I'm like, bro, I got this. Like, just trust me. So that was a pretty eventful Saturday. And then Sunday, same as you, bro. I hate the idea of Valentine's Day on specific days. Like, bro, I was like, man, I want to go get mimosas, but dude, every brunch place is gonna be fucking packed. Like, there's no way we're getting reservations on fucking day of. But luckily, like, I guess like the dudes are like afraid to sit with their girls at the bar. Every bar was empty at these fucking restaurants. I'm like, yo, we'll sit at the bar, bro. It's not a big deal. Nice. Like, it's the same thing. So yeah, it was a pretty good day, man. Pretty good weekend actually, full of packing and unpacking shit at the crib. The house is coming together nicely, so yeah, I'm just fucking. I need to get all these fucking boxes out of my house, bro, because it is just so overwhelming to like walk in every day. I'm like, oh, there's still like 15 shit I have to fucking do today. So like, we're chipping away little by little. So I'm grateful for that.
I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I'm staring at boxes right now, and there's only like 8 of them, and that shit alone stresses me out. Granted, I have like 20 square feet to fucking move in.
Yeah, right.
But I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's stressful because like, yo, it's like, you know, like you're not done, but you also don't want to do anything else. It's like, bro, I've done so much to get to this point. Like, I don't want to do anymore, bro. But I got family visiting over the weekend to like, you know, just, you know, help me bring the house in and shit like that. So grateful for that. But that just means I have to go extra ham after we're done recording today and tomorrow. So all good, man. Nice. All good things. No complaints. But I guess the main thing for this episode is what I did Sunday night. I guess you did Friday night.
Yep.
Yeah, we both saw Judas and the Black Messiah. Fucking phenomenal movie. So I want to ask you, bro, because obviously, you know, being black in America is a different experience for you than me. But like, bro, did you know that story?
I did not know that story at all.
Bro, dude, and the only reason when I heard the name Fred Hamilton, I was like, yo, that sounds familiar. And then like, I remember
Hampton?
using the...
It's Hampton, right?
Yeah. Fred Hampton?
Yeah, Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton, yeah. The only reason why I remember that name is from like a Jay-Z line from like on December 4th track that he dropped on the Black album like fucking, what is that, fucking 10, 15 years ago? But like, bro, like I did not know the story about this at all. So like, just like give me your impersonal idea, like just taking all that in and like, dude, why didn't I know about this? You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of the part that like kind of fucked me up a lot.
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest takeaways for sure. Cause I mean, my girl even asked me like as the movie was starting, like, oh, is this Malcolm X or is this Martin Luther King? I'm like, I mean, I knew it wasn't them, but I was like, I also have no idea who this is. I wasn't sure if it was kind of like a side story that was just created that was like affiliated with the Black Panther Party or something. Like I had no idea what I was watching until I realized like everything was based on true events and stuff. But yeah, I think it's sad because there's probably, you know, hundreds of other important stories that we never were taught in school. Like all we know about is Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman, and like that's pretty much it.
And even that's through the very like filtered version of like what American white society wants us to know, right? I find that meme is great. It's like Martin Luther King assassinated, and it's like be like him. It's like what the fuck? So yeah, bro, like that was probably one of the biggest takeaways. Again, we'll jump into all of it, but yeah, bro, I was like, yo, this was a fucking true story. Why the fuck did I've never heard of this shit, bro? Now, obviously, Black America has heard of it, but I think that has to be like if maybe your parents were in the movement back in the 60s or 70s, or they had some kind of affiliation, or you happen to be like in those specific cities. Because, bro, like, I don't know, man, growing up in New York till the age of 14, like, I never heard of that shit. And then, obviously, I know I was raised in India, so, like, it's not on the Indian, school system to teach me about American history like this. But dude, I even asked my cousins about this shit. I'm like, bro, like, no one really knew this story at all. So like, obviously we know about the Black Panthers, but I didn't know it was like this, bro. It was like, that was just like the eye-opening thing for me.
And I definitely noticed and I'm sure you did too, like the parallels with Black Lives Matter and the white guy trying to basically label them as terrorists and say like, hey, these guys are no better than the KKK and this and that. And it just made me think of all the arguments and stuff that I seen on TV and on Instagram about Black Lives Matter being a terrorist organization, and all they want to do is kill the police and shit like that. It was eerie how identical it was to what's going on now, or what has been going on.
Bro, I was telling my girl as I was watching it, bro, it's like, it's wild how this happened 50 years ago, and we're fucking, it's the same thing, bro. Like, the way he was killed is, I mean, I guess worse than the way Breonna Taylor was killed, but the way they were protesting, it was the same thing. It's like, yo, you're killing people while they're sleeping? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, that's like the heartbreaking thing. Is like, and again, I know, like, I don't want to get down like this so depressing road, but like, there's been progress, bro. Like, there's been progress. There's been obviously like tangible things. Laws have been changed since the 70s to make lives better for minorities in America, specifically Black Americans. But it is still very fucking depressing that on some level, also a lot of things haven't changed. And like, that's like, that was like my biggest take. I'm like, damn, bro, like, this is just, you put fucking 2021 on the fucking screen, and it's, I believe you. You know what I mean? Like, I would believe you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was definitely another depressing takeaway from it, was how it seems like things haven't really changed, and people always act like this shit was, centuries ago. It was right around the corner. Like, my parents remember this shit.
Yeah, dude, his son is a couple years older than us. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, bro, and also, like, dude, think about, like, bro, obviously I know we're like young, early 30s, but bro, like, think about even like the hype of like at the peak of the Black Lives Matter movement, when we were even debating, should we post a little fucking black square, right? And like, we did that as two 30-year-old grown-ass men. We're like, all right, we did our part. You know what I mean? Yeah. Part of it, blah, blah. And then when I find out at the end of this movie that he was 21 years old, I was like, bro, like, that is crazy. Like, yo, there's people, like, thank God there's people that passionate about a cause that, obviously, like, there's trauma and devastation in their fucking community. Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like, bro, I need to be at the fucking forefront of this today. But yo, the fact that he was 21, bro, was also like mind-blowing to me, because that is, bro, when I was 21, I was just trying to make sure my ID was recognized as real, not as a fake ID at a club. You know what I mean? Like, right. I was not worried about, like, bro, I gotta make sure everyone in this community is fucking uplifted. So that's just crazy.
And it's also, what's sad is I joined Wayno's Instagram live a couple of days ago for a few minutes, and someone asked him what he thought about the movie, and he said, you know what's crazy is Fred Hampton at that time and NBA Youngboy are the same age, and these are two completely opposite people, like, as far as like what they represent or what their agenda is or whatever, which is also interesting to think. Like, I know kids are like growing up faster nowadays, it seems, but at the same time, I think mentally we're not necessarily on the same page as like back then. It seems like we're concerned with the wrong things, like, in this day and age.
And then I think, though, dude, when you're concerned with the right things, quote unquote, you're labeled crazy, right? Because think about, like, obviously XXXTentacion had a bunch of crazy shit going on in his life, as far as like being accused of beating his girlfriend at the time, blah, blah, blah. But bro, he used to say a lot of like outlandish stuff also about like focusing on mental health. We got to uplift our community. And bro, he was just labeled crazy across the board, even though he was only 20 years old, right? So it's crazy how like we don't really respect the youth now that do kind of like have a voice like that. Whereas it seems like back then they were just dying for a voice that they were willing to listen to anyone, regardless of how old you were or where you were from.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because the thing about, dude, fucking what, Tupac was, what, 25 when he died? So, but he was around for like 6 or 7 years?
Something like that, yeah. So he was
like
kind of doing similar shit.
Yeah, dude, and like Pac was at the forefront of a bunch of different movements. But yeah, just that was crazy to me, bro. Because yeah, like I was like, dude, like we were going to a protest, but like even now, like I had friends who go to it, but like if shit popped off, they were fucking out. You know what I mean? Like they weren't really trying to be there. And then yeah, dude, we were all debating like, oh, you can't post that. Well, if you post it, don't put that hashtag. It's like, yo, that's what the fuck we're worried about. This dude was like legit saying like, yo, I'm gonna die for you, and I'm okay with that. Like that was crazy, bro. And like to think that a child could have that in them is beautiful, but also sad. Like, yo, is this generation that has so much information to actually, obtain and be better. We're just like, nah, let's do a TikTok, Tiger video or some shit, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, no, for real. And I'm also glad that these untold stories are becoming more popular, because I remember growing up when it seemed like every black movie that came out was like just slavery, people getting whipped for the whole 2 hours, and there was never really like a victory or near victory of any sort. It's just like, all right, white people treated us like shit and like animals. Whereas like these stories, it's kind of it shows the flip side of the coin, where we're actually fighting back and organizing, and behind the scenes, these people in power are preventing us from actually doing that, and being real evil about it. So I think that's a really important story to tell, and hopefully people actually go and see it, not just because it's Black History Month or
I think dude, if this movie I saw my dad last night, dude, if this movie was in theaters right now, bro, the numbers would be astronomical. I mean, I think the streaming numbers will still be high, but you just don't know how like they're counting these HBO Max streams. But dude, if this was in the movie theaters, bro, this would be doing crazy numbers. Numbers.
I don't doubt
but
that.
How do you think it is to portray Crazy Bill in the movie? Like our boy, I don't want to fucking butcher his name, but was it
Lakeith Stanfield? Stanfield? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you think it feels to be him, bro? Because I really think he was the perfect for it, because he's like, eccentric. But bro, there has to be something in you that feels kind of guilty, playing that role so well,
I don't know. I feel like, to your point, Lakeith's so eccentric. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, I mean, he even said on Instagram he would love to play a gay character so he can like put himself in a completely different mindset and play a completely different character. So I feel like for him, like playing a snitch or somebody who's just not likable, like he's just like, fuck it, like he's seems like one of the few people that's capable of like doing that. And in a weird way, he like made himself seem kind of likable at points. Because he
definitely made you feel like there was a human aspect to it. It was like he was phenomenal. Like him and Daniel, the guy who plays
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, dude, they were phenomenal, bro. Like the fact that he's British and can just like that accent just goes away in all these American movies is fucking all just that by itself is insane. And then adding his acting capabilities on top of that. But bro, I don't know. I just feel like that role of Bill O'Neill is a wild role, bro. Because again, I don't think he's ever gonna be typecasted. But bro, like there's sometimes it's hard for the average viewer to remove art from real life. So like, what I mean? This is probably gonna be. I know it's only February, but this is probably gonna be one of the biggest films of the year, like nomination wise. Like you can just tell. So it's kind of tough. Like I don't know about like it would be tough for me to like. You don't want to get typecast as that role. Like again, I don't think he's anti-black anything. Obviously. Yeah. Dude, it doesn't seem that way on social media, but like, I can see a lot of like narrow-minded people who are just like, oh, that's who he is. But because dude, again, that role, bro, Judas is a perfect way to say that dude is the worst dude in the fucking world, bro. Like the worst.
Hence why he killed himself, like the night of that interview he did.
The night of, bro. Like, yo, and I was like, all right, that makes sense then, bro, because there's no like if they would have said like, oh, he's living in blah blah blah, I was like, bro, they're gonna kill this dude today because like, bro, like that dude is the worst dude ever.
That's interesting. I never thought of it that deeply, because like I mean, I'm fully aware that people are fans of good characters like Iron Man and shit like that.
Yeah.
But when I think of villains, I never think to myself like, oh, if I saw that person in real life, I would hate him just as much. But I guess there are people out there who, I know this from Game of Thrones, even though I don't watch it. There's like this young tyrant kid that's supposedly super evil in that show, and people fucking hated him like in real life. So
yeah, dude.
I guess like,
it does
come with some
hate
extra
mail,
baggage.
And it's like, bro, I'm not this person. Like, that was a role. But I saw in some interview that Daniel did, I think on Complex, or maybe it was Charlemagne the God on the Breakfast Club. But he was talking about how like Keish had like, there was nights that he like felt sick to himself, like doing that role. Kind of like the whole thing with like with Heath Ledger playing the Joker, like how that role becomes you, and it like makes you almost like, that shit has to have like mental health, you know, lingering effects for you know, days or weeks or months after the role. But there's no way, like, if you completely dive into a role and you become that character, bro, there's no way your brain can be able to so quickly be like, all right, back to normal, go live your normal life. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how like into character you get. Like if he puts himself in the mindset of, maybe he is listening to Tekashi tracks and is like, I'm a fucking snitch or like a rat for the next 3 weeks or some shit. But I don't know, and I'm not even an actor clearly, but in my mind, I would imagine it would be somewhat easy to turn it off, but I guess it really is a lot deeper than that, especially if you're filming for like months or years. Like it's not like you do this shit over a weekend.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I can remember like, dude, I remember like the stories of like Jack Nicklaus apparently like calling Heath Ledger before he took the role, like, yo, like, are you sure you want to do this? It's gonna have a, you know, and dude, and like that shit proved to be fucking serious, right? So I don't know, man, it's wild, but dude, the acting was, everyone in that movie did a fucking great job, bro. Like honestly, this is like, I watched it late on a Sunday night, but I was still pretty, you know, awake. Like, bro, this was probably one of the best movies I've seen in a fucking long time. Like, timing wise, I mean, if this would have came out like in the peak of like the Floyd, you know, riots and like protests and like May, maybe better timing. But like, just to have this come out after just having that last year, which is only 6 months ago, and then just the level of acting in it, just phenomenal, bro. Just phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely agree. Awesome movie.
So go see that. Judas and the Black Messiah. I think it's on HBO Max, but also Netflix. I'm not too sure.
Not sure. It's also
it's definitely HBO Max.
You can find it on the dark web too, if you really need to. But this is one of those movies you got to support financially. Not speaking for myself, but everyone else, dude.
Yeah, hit me up for a login if you need me. I got you. So, dude, we're gonna get into the music of this later when we do our Clubhouse, Audio Theory, YouTube, you know, dual platform thing in a bit. But listening to the soundtrack though of this fucking movie made me think of like, bro, like having a soundtrack really can help make a film like a different fucking level, and even make you appreciate the music to a different level. So like after watching the movie, that soundtrack hit way harder than like if it would have been the other way around. Like if I would have heard that soundtrack first on Friday and then watched the movie, I don't think it would have hit me that hard. But like, so I wanted to ask you, like, bro, what are a couple soundtracks that come to your mind that you remember you heard that shit and you were like, bro, yes, like this is why we need more fucking artists like doing soundtracks that are actually like dope, like making music for a movie as opposed to just like, I hate when they have those soundtracks where it's like they just take a normal song and artist and just throw it on the soundtrack. It's like, bro, like I know this wasn't made for this, bro. Yeah,
that's a really good question. And I know there's plenty out there, but I'm trying really hard to remember what exactly those were. You might have to come back to me, but one fairly recent one that comes to mind was the Black Panther one.
Oh yeah, that was
I don't know if I can say it really like enhanced the movie, but the songs themselves were super dope, and it just made me kind of more excited just with everything going on. Like it was almost like a Black Pride sort of thing. Just
and
really good.
Were like nominated for like Oscars, right? Or at least one was nominated for an Oscar, right?
Yep. Love the SZA Kendrick song, the Schoolboy Q one. Like there's just a lot of dope shit on that one.
And also the idea that it was just TDE artists for the most part was also, and like, that was like Kendrick was like, bro, after like there was like a run that Kendrick had like from Damn to that was like, yo, you can't really touch this guy right now.
Yeah, for sure. What about you?
Dude, there's so many, man. I go back to fucking 1998 or 99, bro. The Rush Hour soundtrack. Like that soundtrack just enhanced that
shit,
movie,
yes. Yeah.
Like to a different level, and like every song was really made for that. Because you even had like little snippets of the movie like in certain songs or in skits. Bro, the American Gangster movie where like Jay-Z literally made that entire album.
He's got his eye all up in the camera.
Jay-Z legit made that entire soundtrack from the perspective of Frank Lucas. So that was fucking phenomenal. And then there has to be another one that stands out to me recently, bro.
Oh,
I guess those two.
Bad Boys 2 was pretty dope.
That was dope. But again, that one was a little bit, it was more so there was just dope music in the movie. Yeah. I don't know if a lot of those songs really were like made for it. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
Because again, that movie, that whole vibe is just like, yo, we're in Miami, life is good, hip hop, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I feel like the other ones we mentioned are like kind of like that shit was made for the movie, you know, and vice versa.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like soundtracks definitely enhance the movie. And there's like a theme to it, which makes it feel pretty cohesive usually.
Yeah, dude, you have literally like 10, 12 different artists all like on the same page. Like that never happens. You know what I mean? Like that never fucking happens. So yeah, that was dope, bro. And even like something childish, like not childish, sorry, like a little bit older too, like Hustle and Flow. Like, bro, like that whole thing was, you know, made for like
that
one.
Rap. Yeah.
Like that was crazy. No, dude, even 8 Mile, like, bro, there were bangers on 8 Mile soundtrack, bro. So yeah, bro. But I just feel like recently we don't get that shit, bro. Like, I don't know, because like the way music is being consumed now, like the idea of investing so much money behind like a soundtrack where like, all right, we're gonna pay all these artists money, but we're really never gonna get a return on this. Like, why are we doing it? Like, we're not gonna have like a Black Panther concert tour. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so we're just gonna be giving away millions for like no reason, kind of thing. So
yeah,
maybe that's why it is. But dude, like, especially like, okay, we'll get into it later on the heat of the week. But like, bro, like this fucking soundtrack, yo, after watching that movie, you're just like, bro, I'm ready to go to fucking war today. Like, yo, like who's the enemy? And I am going to war today, bro.
Well, I think the common theme with the soundtracks though is they all seem to be. I don't want to use the word urban, but geared towards like a Black/urban audience. So like, think of like the Fast and Furiouses and Bad Boys and this movie and Into the Spider-Verse. Even like, it's never like, I mean, usually it's not like the Minions and shit, which I think had a soundtrack. Not the Minions, but what the fuck is that movie called with the Minions?
Despicable Me.
Yeah, Despicable Me. Like shit like that will sometimes get one, but for the most part, like it's always like shit like Cradle to the Grave with DMX and stuff like that. That usually, especially if it features like a rapper or a R&B artist, then those ones usually get a soundtrack coming along with it.
Because it's almost like a hip hop artist now dropping merch. It's almost like it enhances both situations. So I feel like if you're like if you know your movie's gonna have a predominantly Black audience, like you should probably drop a fucking very good hip hop soundtrack for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I don't think like fucking Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts and Richard Gere had a fucking fire soundtrack or anything like that.
No, that would be hilarious if they did. Just
if
like
they did, they're like just bangers. Oh, that's funny. All right, man. Yeah, that was just my take. And obviously, so make soundtracks cool again is what we're saying. But obviously, do a bunch of shit we can get into before we jump into heat of the week and go over some music. I think the wildest thing from the week, besides Valentine's and that, was 6ix9ine the news again. Meek Mill. So, dude, let the people know what happened, and then we'll jump on it.
Yeah. So essentially, 6ix9ine and Meek Mill got caught up in a parking lot. Both parties had their security guards. Just a shouting match of both of them with their phones out. calling the other dude pussy. You know, you got security with you. You ain't gonna do shit. Blah blah blah. Meek claims he spat on 6ix9ine and therefore 6ix9ine waited for him in the parking lot and with his boys. I think 6ix9ine probably I think they happened to be at the same club or restaurant or whatever, and 6ix9ine decided to do his thing and kind of troll him and call him out, which I don't blame him, because out of all the rappers, Meek Mill loves talking about 6ix9ine. So,
dude, I don't know why, bro. I feel like his career has gone literally this way since he started.
It's disappointing to me. Like, Nipsey would never give him this much energy.
Dude, he literally like shut that shit down like in an interview once. Nipsey.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm not talking about that, man.
Not talking about it, man. Like, I wish him the best. I hope for his safety, and kept it moving, bro. So, yeah, bro. Again, it just bro, but like ever since he came out with Champions, that shit was Grammy nominated. Like, he had the whole U.S. like had his back, bro. Especially like, because not for nothing, bro. Again, I think the streets were done with Meek after Drake bodied him, and then like he went to jail and then got out, and we're like, all right, man, like fuck it, we'll take you back. Yeah. But like, so dude, like I don't know, man. I don't know if he was just so high off like, you know, how much everyone loved him again. But bro, like ever since he went back and forth with this dude like a year and a half ago, I think everyone's been like, man, like we ain't doing this shit with you again, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, he was like the Black Messiah.
Yeah. Right.
After coming back from jail and shit. And then
everyone loved him.
Yeah, everyone loved him. Drake would have definitely looked like a hater if he still hated Meek at that point, because everybody was on Meek's nuts. And once Drake fucking made up with him, then it was just like nothing ever happened.
Like it never happened, bro. Like there wasn't a full summer of us just fucking playing back to back. Like, like yo, that's all we did, bro. Like they were playing diss. Dude, that's like not the first, bro, but that's probably one of the few diss tracks that you remember like you were out and like that shit had no like rhythmic beat as far as like dancing with a girl, and they would still play that shit fucking 10 times in a row.
Yep.
Like fuck.
I remember texting everyone. I listened to the song like 100 times. Every bar was like a punchline. I like low key wanted to just call in sick just so I could listen to it. Like that song was everywhere for like a month.
Everywhere, bro. But yeah, so yeah, I just think like ever since his back and forth for 6ix9ine like a year and a half ago, bro, it's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I think it's like I don't think he's had a song that really like slapped like that. You know what I mean? So, and you'd also do like if he's saying, so you're saying that he alleged that he spat on 6ix9ine first?
He claims he spat on 6ix9ine, which is weird because isn't he on probation and isn't that assault? Like spitting on somebody?
I don't know.
I know it's assault, considered assault. Like if I were to spit on you, I could go to jail for assault.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. But
I don't know if 6ix9ine would go that far, but maybe.
I mean, he's a snitch, but I don't know if he would. I just don't get like, yo, like you're the bigger artist, bro. So why are you engaging? You know what I mean? Like I would just see that dude and be like, yo, I'm not. Let's go, bro. Let's just go over there, or let's just leave. Like blah blah blah. Like I don't know. He almost took like from like his tweets, like this dude's a fucking clown. Like what is he trying to do? He's quoting other rappers at me. He's trying to fucking instigate me. I'm like, bro, but if you spat on him, like, isn't this kind of your fault? You know what I mean? Like, don't you have as equal, if not more, to blame in this whole fucking situation?
Yeah, that's my point exactly, and I don't know where it started from, but I think it's just really him and his like ego and trying to prove that he's like the voice of the streets and has to shut corny shit down and stuff. But if you really think 6ix9ine is you know, this lame who should be ignored and should be blackballed and shit, then you should just ignore him. Like it's not a threat. And I now it's to the point where like I'm wondering if it really does have anything to do with like Nicki Minaj and shit like that, how like 6ix9ine's kind of close to her and does music with her and everything. Like if that irks him in some sort of way, or maybe there's something behind the scenes that 6ix9ine may have done that pissed him off. But it's just really weird for him to keep giving him this much attention, especially considering I can't think of any other rappers that are like giving him this much attention at all. And it's only helping 6ix9ine because now I'm gonna want to listen to his shit.
Exactly, that's my point. Especially now, bro. Like he is irrelevant, and like you just gave him more relevancy right now.
Mm-hmm. Literally, like not before. I was like, not really interested in hearing shit from him, and now I'm like, all right, I'll listen to what 6ix9ine has to say about Meek.
Yeah, is he gonna have a Meek diss? You know what I mean? Is he gonna tell the like true story behind this? Yeah. So if anything, yeah, he's definitely like, propelling this dude's career a little bit longer, because we were just saying last week, like it just felt like this dude was done unless the music fucking slaps to a different level. So I think now people are gonna be engaged to listen to it just to fucking see if he says anything about Meek on a song, which he probably is, bro, because what else is he gonna talk about?
Yeah. Also, so do you hear about Cyhi and the whole car accident? Well, not car accident. It was actually an assassination attempt that turned into a fucking car accident. It was pretty wild to read that. I think it happened on Valentine's Day or the night before, actually, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I saw the post over the weekend, bro, and that is pretty wild. Like, I really hope, and I wasn't trying to be like a fucking like point the finger, but like, I really wish. So again, to give people context, I think it was one day over the weekend. Apparently, someone started shooting at him on the highway in Atlanta, where he's from originally, and at some point he drove off and thought he got away, but then he actually like hit a pole and like fucked his car up really bad. So he thought that was gonna be the worst of it, but then apparently whoever was trying to kill him came back around and shot the car up some more, and this guy didn't die by the grace of God, because like you would think one of those three things is gonna kill him. So he had like a pretty lengthy post on Instagram, I think on Monday or Sunday, about how like reaching out to Atlanta saying, guys, like I'm not looking for revenge, like yo, what the fuck happened? Because I haven't been in these streets for almost 10 years. Like, what is going on? And I was really looking for, because it seems like he was looking like almost like an olive branch. Like, bro, like, if it's about me, we'll figure this out. I think he also thinks, like, dude, is this like, was I the wrong person? Did you think I was somebody else? Like, what's going on? But I really wish, like, when I was going through the comments, and I don't know if you maybe it was different for you just depending on who we follow. Dude, I didn't see any major Atlanta artists, like, posting shit like, damn, bro, like, we'll look into it. Are you okay? I'm glad you're okay. Like, I didn't see 2 Chainz, Migos, Gucci, Young Jeezy, nobody, bro.
Yeah, that's where it gets like tricky for me. So I follow some of those people, like T.I. and fucking Young Thug and shit, and I didn't see all the verified check marks were from people I had never heard of. But at the same time, when this shit goes down, not this shit, but like when anything really goes down that gets goes viral on social media, I always hear rappers say, damn bro, why didn't you just DM me, or you could have sent me a text? So I'm really hoping that the 2 Chainz's and the TIs said fuck Instagram, I'm gonna call you and like
call you. And especially like 2 Chainz, bro, because 2 Chainz, like, aren't they all like good music? Like, you would think like that would be an easy conversation.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's what happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. If behind the scenes they were just like, "Yo, bro, like, what happened? You know, we'll make some phone calls and figure this shit out." Because I know Cyhi's not, and for those who don't know, like Cyhi is a producer / songwriter, probably more so known for his songwriting. He produced a lot of your favorite Kanye and Travis Scott songs. I think he has writing credits on Sicko Mode, Blood on the Leaves, like On God, and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, some of Kanye's most recent successful hits are like a lot of his writing.
And he's not, at least to me, like known as, you know, this hardcore street dude. He might have done some street shit a long time ago, which he kind of alluded to. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he fucking carjacked somebody, tried to kill somebody. And I was speaking to my brother about it earlier. Like, it doesn't matter how long ago, you know, if you try to kill somebody's family member 20 years ago, like, they're still gonna not fuck with you 20 years later, chances are. So maybe something like that happened, I don't know, but it definitely doesn't sound like a robbery attempt. It sounds like somebody wanted somebody dead, and there's a chance that he could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it was actually meant for somebody else, but who knows.
Dude, but if it was meant for someone else, that guy is the worst assassin ever, bro. Because, like, damn. Like, you really fully committed to, like, killing this dude who you probably is this guy. Like, because, like, bro, like, for you to swing back around, allegedly, shoot someone in fucking on a highway at night. There's cameras everywhere, bro. There's CCTV cameras everywhere in America now. To shoot at someone's car on a highway, and then to come back around when they're fucking in a ditch somewhere and shoot it up again, bro. That's where like the idea of it not being meant for him is just a little bit alarming, because I'm like, bro, that's wild if it was meant for somebody else.
Yeah, that is wild. And
I think it also was like a truck, bro. I don't really think you misidentify, you like there's certain cars is like, bro, all right, that's his car, bro. Like there's no way it's like anyone's.
Yeah, that's true. It was confusing to me how he survived this unscathed, considering they fucking drove him off the highway and shot up his car after it flipped over. Like, it almost makes me wonder, were they just trying to scare the fucking living shit out of him or what? Because I don't think most people would survive that. I don't care how much fucking aim.
Yeah, and again, maybe when it's not your time, it's just not your time. So maybe God intervened and put a cloak around this dude. But yeah, bro, like when I saw that post initially, I'm like, this is someone, saying that he passed away, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because that car looked too fucked up for it not to be like someone died, rest in peace, or something, bro. Like, hey, I lost my leg or something, because it just like visually, it just looked fucking insane.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad we didn't lose yet another important figure within the hip hop this year. That would have been terrible. And it seems like there's just a hit out on all these rappers, and Atlanta's like apparently a hotbed for all this type of shit,
which I didn't fucking know about.
Yeah, especially because I always thought, and I thought other rappers agreed with this too, it seemed like of all the cities or whatever, Atlanta rappers or Atlanta hip hop people always kind of meshed well together and were supportive of each other. They're all on each other's tracks. There's not really that much.
Dude, that was like the weird thing about, because like that's what people used to shit on New York. Like, yo, you guys are cool, but you guys all have fucking beef with each other. At least in Atlanta, like Migos, 2 Chainz, like everyone seemed cool. So like, why? Like, yeah, dude. When he even reading that, like it was, the other stuff was more shocking. But like, I didn't know they had beef out there. You know what I mean? Especially after the whole like Jeezy and like Gucci thing that they made up. I thought everyone was fucking straight.
Same. And Cyhi was probably one of the last people I would have expected to have like a hit out on him out of all the rappers.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, dude. Again, like you said, dude, maybe he did some shit like back in the day. It's like you can't just fucking like walk away from that shit. You know what I mean? Like the same thing. And I know it's the 3-year anniversary of Victory Lap. Hence rocking the Crenshaw stuff today. So we'll get to that in a second. But like, dude, when there were like all those conspiracy theories about Nipsey, and it's like, bro, but he also was a gangbanger, bro. Like, so, like, like, it sucks, but like, dude, if he did some shit, I think it ended up being as a guy jealous or whatever. But like, dude, if he did some shit 10 years ago, dude, just because you're a millionaire and successful and you think you're over it, bro, a lot of people aren't over it, and a lot of people aren't at your level. So like, that's just, if you're gonna ever partake in that shit can come back and will fucking bite you in the ass most times than not.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off the most is when, because I love Nipsey obviously, but I had friends tell me, no, the government did it because Nipsey was a made man. You don't understand. Everyone in LA respected him. And I'm like, bro, all it takes is one person to not respect him to fucking kill him. Anybody. It could have been a fucking child on the street corner who happened to have a gun. Like, it doesn't matter. We're not gods. We're all mortal beings, and shit happens. The same thing with the Kobe fucking helicopter thing. I have friends who like swear the Illuminati planned this. I'm like, Kobe is a fucking human being, an amazing one, but anything could fucking have killed him. The same thing, shit that could have killed us. And I think it's just really hard for us to accept that how fragile life is, and that, the people we look up to and love can just like disappear because of something that wasn't, just because of a stupid accident or like someone being a hater or whatever it is.
Yeah, dude, and also like 100%, dude, and that's why kind of like going back to the Meek and 6ix9ine thing. I think I told you, like, it's kind of disappointing for them to see them both like so animated on the video, because I'm like, dude, what if this goes south? So you like one of you just may get killed over what? Like, what are you guys actually upset about? Like, you don't really know each other. Like, like, so yeah, that's the sad thing, bro. Like, it's still like the lack of respect for what life is seems to still be very apparent in today's day and age. Considering how like everything is still so like, you know, people are dying of COVID, people are fucking losing their life, they're losing their businesses, and then you have like, it seems like certain rappers or individuals just like don't give a fuck, like they're ready to die. It's like, bro, why though? Like, you know, like you think you come back? Like, you know, why you can try this again later? Like, bro, like it's a wrap. So yeah, man. So that was definitely disappointing. But yeah, thankfully our man's alive, and you know, hopefully, you know, some good comes out of this, that, you know, there can be some understanding of like what the fuck happened. Because the idea of like not being able to go to your home city is kind of fucking trash. So
for sure.
But yeah, dude, 3 years removed from a victory lap. So your thoughts on like, do you remember when it dropped? Like, what was your first impression of it? And obviously, how do you think that album has aged over time?
I can't say I like truly remember when it dropped. I'm not gonna pretend like I was a diehard Nipsey fan. He was always on my radar because I knew of him ever since before anyone outside of LA gave a shit about his music.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until like I noticed he was getting cosigns from like Belly and random people who kind of had nothing to do with the LA hip hop scene, is when I really started paying attention. I think it definitely has aged completely fine. I don't think there's anything that sounds outdated to me. I think it's just really, the more I listen to his work, especially that one, it does motivate you, even if you're not from like his environment. It's just someone who kind of had a plan and said, fuck it, I'm gonna make it happen. And he's just very smart about it. Like, he did typical rapper shit, but in a smart way. Like, he didn't go out and buy the $1 million car. He bought like something that was nice, that like symbolized wealth, and like got into crypto and all these other fields that unfortunately hood dudes think is nerdy until someone like Nipsey talks about it. Then all of a sudden motherfuckers want Bitcoin and shit. But when Nipsey brought it up, like, it was like, oh shit, like he's smart, which he was. And I think you could definitely hear that through the music. I know it's not for everyone. A lot of people say he's overrated, like he's whatever, but I think it's because he doesn't really make the mainstream shit that you would expect from like a Drake or even Meek Mill in some instances. It's just more like fly shit you would listen to in the car with your boys or something. Like, you're not gonna listen to most of it in the club or anything. Yeah.
I think that was, for sure. I think so same, dude. Like, I honestly I knew when it dropped because I was really into the Jesus and Mero show on Viceland, and they had him on the week it dropped. So like, I was like, oh, I'll peep that eventually. And then I didn't, bro. And then when he got nominated for a Grammy, I then peeped it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then I don't think mentally I was in the right mindset. It's like, yo, I feel like you have to be in that, like, I'm not saying hustler's mindset, but like, you have to have something innately very motivational about you at that time. And then that's going to inspire you to keep listening. Because that's it, dude. That entire album was a very inspirational album. And then, dude, when he died, it just, took it to another level. But so I think listening to it now, like, unbiased, like, bro, like, it's aged very well, bro. And like, if you think about the people he had on that album, like Buddy, Belly, fucking couple more fucking features that were dope, YG, but it was never overwhelming, bro. It was still his voice that carried it throughout. And obviously Hit Boy production. So like, dude, I think we can be 5 years from now, so it'll be 8 years since the drop, and I think we're still gonna say this is a fucking classic album that, if anything, is gonna age better, as I think with the emergence of the internet and just like more people getting into different streams of hustle when it comes to like Forex or Bitcoin or Dogcoin or stocks, whatever. Like, I think you're gonna see people trying to hustle even more, and I think this could be the soundtrack to a lot of people's lives 5 years from now.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, I when I went to Vegas like a year ago, I want to say, like, last time that I checked, came on, people were jumping up and down like the shit was the Tupac song with Dr. Dre. The name is slipping. Yeah, California Love. It had that. It was like almost like a new school California Love. It felt like.
Yeah.
So I see this aging pretty well.
Yeah. And especially that song, dude. I fucking it's not rap niggas, but like there's the one song that he used a Party Next Door sample. Fuck man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm not gonna remember it. But dude, there's so many songs that like just slap harder now. Like, because of everything, bro. Especially because, like, right now, like, we're all just at home lounging, relaxing. So if you have your boys over, you're smoking something or sipping on something, and this album comes on, you're playing the whole album, bro. Like, that's, like, probably one of the most impressive things. Like, there's really, like, no throwaway songs in this whole experience. Like, it's all just fucking good. And then a couple songs, like, really good, but, like, that's why I think it's a classic. Because, like, bro, there's no one or two songs like, fuck, that's all right. Like, I think he was reaching on that one. Like, you can tell this was 10 years in the making because every song and lyric and beat is so well choreographed that, like, bro, like, it had to be a fucking Grammy-nominated album.
For sure. Yeah, it was definitely well put together, and he knew exactly what he was doing when he made it, I could tell.
Yeah, 100%. So rest in peace to him. 3 years, the marathon continues though, and I think him and Lauren London are still dropping merch through Puma, which is dope. I think she just dropped like a female line this week for like the marathon continues with Puma. So shout out to them. So we'll take a quick break, come back on Clubhouse, and do the heat of the week.
Yes, sir. See you there.
Sure. All right, so if the audio comes through terribly for our listeners on Apple, on any iTunes or podcast platform or YouTube, we apologize. We're trying new things here to make this shit better. So we'll see if it works. But so yeah, we're doing a I guess co-platform thing. We're on Clubhouse right now doing Heat of the Week. Honestly, I think I texted you at midnight on Thursday, like, yo, we have fucking music. I'm excited. Let's talk about this shit. So, yeah, what was your heat of the week from last week? And also, I'll bring up a couple of things I didn't get a chance to listen to, but I've heard nothing but positive things. But yeah, man, what was your heat of the week?
Nice. So for me, I honestly didn't come across too much other than some tracks from the Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack. But this one's gonna be a shameless plug. So I released a remix of Highs and Lows, a trap remix that I worked on with
technically a High Five remix, right?
Yeah, a High Five remix. So he's a electronic producer, I believe based out of the Netherlands. I actually found him on Fiverr, which is interesting considering I feel like Fiverr has a reputation of kind of having more amateurish / quick buck type services, and I just casually was like, one day, you know what, I kind of want to do a remix of this song, an electronic one, but I don't really know any producers. So I went on Fiverr, listened to his catalog, and was just super impressed. Like, it sounded like stuff I would hear on the radio or YouTube or whatever, and hit him up, and we made it happen. Released it on last Thursday. I believe that would be February 11th, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased with the result. I'm kind of a fan of trap music myself, so that's why I decided to go with that genre, as well as house here and there.
It's definitely a trap house club vibe.
Yep. So I went with that, and like I said, super pleased with the results. So check that out if you guys haven't. It's the Highs and Lows remix, a High Five remix on all streaming platforms.
Amazing.
By
him. Did he get any feedback thus far though from like anyone like hit you up about
it? He posted on his page or his story. I don't think he has like a huge following based on what I've seen, so there's like not really anywhere where I've been able to get a ton of like unbiased feedback from maybe his audience or anything.
I got you. Yeah.
But I have hit up the Rap Nation guys to see if they could potentially work out something with Trap Nation, because that page gets like 20 times as much traffic. Like every video dropped like 1 million views and shit. So if this song were to get on that, then I would get infinitely more looks. So we'll see what happens. Not really holding my breath on that one, but just wanted to experiment and release something different from what I've done in the past.
Yeah, dude, and that's like, almost like because what's the risk in not doing it, right? Because like it could be your St. John fucking Roses moment, right? Like where this guy's like around forever, and then fucking some DJ wherever fucking remixes that beat, and it's like boom, career takes off to some insane level.
Yeah. So that was like the rationale behind it too, was, you know, maybe someone from that audience will fuck with it and put it on TikTok or something, and then before you know it, you know, I just get a user base off of that, fan base.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, that song was fire. Really enjoyed the remix. I posted it as well. I had a friend say that it reminded her of being at a club when she was like a teenager. I was like, well, I don't know what it means, but like, I'll tell you boy, you liked it.
Yeah, no, definitely appreciate that.
That's dope, bro. Definitely keep messing around with it. Bro, there was a few drops actually, but I'm gonna just go with two. And I guess the songs I'll add to the playlist on top of your song as well has to be the fucking hold on, let me make sure I'm not ruining this fucking name, but has to be from Judas and the Black Messiah. What was the Nipsey and Jay-Z song together? What It Feels Like, bro. Like, also, I'm pretty sure Hit Boy did the entire album, which makes sense why the fucking soundtrack is a fucking banger, because he has like two songs that it's just him rapping, and then every other song has like a Hit Boy beat like intro. So I'm like, all right, this makes sense, like, because there was no hotter producer in the world than Hit Boy last year, right? So, but bro, What It Feels Like is just phenomenal. Like the way Jay-Z can talk about shit from the movie and that life in the 70s and still make it fucking relate to things today, like we were just talking about on the episode, is phenomenal. And just having a full hook from Nipsey and 16 bars, it's like, bro, like what? Like, you know, you feel like just lucky to even listen to it, and it still was actually good, bro. But this is not the only song, bro. The entire soundtrack, dude, Nas has a song that's fire. Dude, Lil Durk, G Herbo, Polo G, Don Kennedy, fucking Sir. Bro, like it is just like, and again, like I feel like it's rare when you get so many artists like to get on the same page, but bro, like they were on the same page. Like everyone was talking about like the revolution and like what Fred Hampton was trying to do back in the 70s, bro. It was like, it wasn't like 18 dope tracks about that and then a random like, you know, drug song. You know what I mean? Like it was just fucking like we're all talking about this in like very unique ways. Like I think Sir has a song that's about the relationship between Fred Hampton and his wife. And like that song's fire, right? Because it's still about that time, but it's a different perspective. Just like in the movie, like there's so many things happening, but his love with that girl obviously matters, right? So, bro, like very well done. To whoever fucking put this together, kudos to them, bro. Because this is, we just talking about, like, this is probably one of the best soundtracks I fucking heard in a very long time. So if you haven't, go check out the Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack. Again, we'll put probably the Jay-Z Nipsey song in the playlist. But then another honorable mention that actually I listened to first because I really didn't want to watch. I listened to the soundtrack until I watched the movie. I spoke about this guy like I think in December, right before the new year. Slow Tie out of London, or out of England. I don't know if he's actually from London, but out of England. Album called Tyron. I don't know, Tyron. I don't know how I pronounce it, but fucking phenomenal, bro. Like when I tell you like this shit is good, like this shit is great. Like it is so good, damn. Like, there's multiple songs here that fucking slap. I know I put Feel Away on the playlist before with James Blake, bro, but he has a Denzel Curry feature. He has a fucking A$AP Rocky feature. He has a Skepta feature. That just all makes sense. So, like, yeah, man. What I love about him is, like, sometimes British rappers cover their accent to kind of just sound like an American artist, like they can blend in. But, bro, this dude, you can tell he's from England, but everything is so clear that he doesn't fuck up. What was that?
No, I was saying when he spits, like, he doesn't give a fuck if he sounds like the most British person on the planet.
Yeah, but it's clear as fuck, bro, and it's things you can relate to, bro. He has a song about the NHS, which is like the National Health, just like their nurses and doctors are frontline workers, and he has an entire song that is just like dedicated to them. And like, as an American, you can relate to that because it's like, yo, like, yeah, man, like this is important because you see all these nurses and doctors here who are fucking getting destroyed by COVID. So, bro, it was just like so good, like just so good. So definitely, if you haven't checked out the Slow Tie album, have to, man, because I played it for a couple of my boys like back in New York, like when I was visiting, like the Feel Away song that like you loved right immediately, right? Because that fucking James Blake hook is like fucking orgasmic. They're like, man, I'm not feeling this British shit, and I'm just like, bro, you don't know what you're missing, bro. Like, like
honestly, so I did have a chance to listen to it, and I wasn't really feeling the first half of the album. Maybe it's just not my cup of tea. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't for me. The second half I loved though. I thought it was dope. There was one song with Skepta that I really loved too. I forget the name of it. It's called, was it Dead something? Dead Away or some shit? I don't know. But
I don't know. The one with Skepta.
I really like that song.
Skepta called Cancelled, and there's another one.
Yeah, Cancelled. That's the one.
Yeah, Cancelled. What's funny though is the first time I heard Mazza with ASAP Rocky. Dude, I literally thought, like, I was just working out to it. I'm like, this is a fucking Playboi Carti song, bro. Because why do I hate, like, I don't want to like this shit. Like, because I liked it, but I'm like, I don't want to like it. But like, I'm like, oh, thank God, it's not Carti. It's fucking ASAP and Slow Tie. But yeah, man, dude, it was a really good, good overall project. Again, I appreciate the production level. It's not something that I feel like, dude, especially like when we were into Top Boy pretty heavy last year. We listened to a lot of British rap for like a couple months. Like, it still sounds very different to that. So I like that even like in the midst of all these other like British artists coming over here, he still has a very unique sound that's fucking just dope to me. But I wanted to ask you, bro, did you get a chance to hear a couple other fucking releases that I know a lot of people are talking about? I just haven't had a chance to fucking check out. I think one is, damn, dude, what's it? Pooh Shitty? Shiesty?
Pooh Shiesty? Pooh Shitty?
Pooh Shitty?
I know of him, and I know he's like, it's kind of like that NBA YoungBoy thing where everyone's talking about him, but I have yet to experience his music. But he was on the soundtrack, was he not? I didn't hear it if he was.
I don't think. Let's check, bro. Hold on, they're right in front of me. Pooh Shiesty. He is, bro. No profanity. Number 14.
Word. So I know he's up and coming and like buzzing right now. I have yet to hear his music.
But he has to be good if you were on that soundtrack, bro. I feel like they were like, yo, we cannot have anyone who's not gonna come like 100%.
So yeah, I gotta check him out. I haven't heard anything from him yet though. Okay,
so yeah, he has an album that dropped called Shiesty Season. So yeah, we gotta listen to that before the next episode. And I also heard the new Yo Gotti Outta Here is actually a pretty good album as well.
Dope. I gotta check that out.
Did you get a chance?
Not a diehard fan of his, but
yeah, dude, he always has one songs that like stick out, and you're like, all right, I'll check that out. But after that, it's like, do I really want to give Yo Gotti like a full like 56 minutes of my time?
Yeah, same. He's just kind of like, it's almost like French Montana for me. Like, I super fuck with, but I'm also not gonna be checking for it like that hard.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So plenty of Heat of the Week out there for everyone listening. We'll flood the playlist with at least 3 or 4 songs, both on Apple and Spotify. So appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Heat of the Week review on Clubhouse. And for all those listening, let them know where they can check us next week.
Yes, sir. You can find us on audio-theory.com on all streaming platforms. That includes YouTube, Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts. We also have 2 playlists on there, so check us out if you're looking for the Heat of the Week selections, which we'll put on there each week as well.
Amazing. All right, my dude. Appreciate you. Everyone go see the movie. Check out the soundtrack. Check out the new Highs and Lows remix. And we will see y'all next week. Peace.
Sir, peace.